Welcome to the AI-powered marketing show, where we investigate and explore the intersection of artificial intelligence with cutting-edge modern digital marketing strategies. If you are a digital marketer, entrepreneur, small business owner, coach, consultant, or just an AI geek like myself, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Keith Bell, and today's episode, we deliver actionable strategies to help you master AI-powered marketing. But before we begin, I ask that you like, share, and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we put out a new video. Your support drives the growth of this show, helps me to attract world-class guests, and allows us to continue delivering valuable insights. Today, I welcome Michael Becker, co-founder of Revivify, an AI-driven reputation management platform that helps businesses turn customer feedback into growth assets. Michael built content ecosystems, scaled major brands, and guided companies to major acquisitions, including the $500 million sale of Emerisys. In this conversation, we'll explore how to transform online reputation, how AI shapes content marketing, and how you can stay competitive in a rapidly changing digital world. Now let's dive in and give a warm welcome to today's guest, Michael Becker.
You're listening to the AI-powered marketing show, where we investigate and explore the intersection of artificial intelligence with modern digital marketing strategies. Each week, host Keith Bell brings you expert insights, powerful strategies, and the latest tools transforming the world of digital marketing through the power of artificial intelligence. Whether you're a small business owner, coach consultant, digital marketer, or entrepreneur, this show is your blueprint for building smarter, more scalable marketing systems. Discover how to simplify complex tech, leverage automation, and stay ahead of the curve with real-world tactics and high-impact interviews. If you're ready to attract aligned customers, grow your business with clarity, and turn AI into your marketing superpower, you're in the right place. Enjoy the episode, and if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to like, follow, and add the show to your favorites. Share it with a friend, leave a review, and say hello in the comments. Your support helps others discover the future of marketing, powered by AI.
Hey, Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, Keith, happy to be here. Thank you.
Hey, so where in this wonderful world are you at right now?
I'm sitting in Las Vegas, Nevada currently.
I'm jealous, dude. I'm very jealous. As we talked about prior to starting this interview, I'm trying to plan a trip to go watch the Formula One race in November.
Nice.
So that's like a real big deal. I'm a big Formula One fan, so
It's action packed. I used to live right around the area that they run the race. I'm not much of a racing guy myself. I'm more of a boxing guy. So I get to go to big fights every now and again.
Oh man, yeah. You like UFC too?
I don't. More just boxing.
Yeah. So you're a purist.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the what do they call it? The sweet science of boxing.
Boxing is the best metaphor for life. And as an entrepreneur, I've always resonated with that.
Now, didn't Gary Vee write a great book, Jab, Jab, Punch?
I've got it sitting right around here somewhere. Yeah. Yep.
I have to confess I haven't read it yet, but I keep seeing clips of it. So one day I've got a stack of books on my desk here that I got to read. So anyway, you've got a pretty diverse background. Why don't you talk a little bit about like your journey, how you got to where you're at now, and talk about how do I say this? Revivify? Revivify. Yep. Okay, I butchered it in the intro. Revivify. Okay. Talk about your journey for me, if you could.
Sure. So I'm Michael Becker, co-founder and CMO at Revivify. I've really spent the last decade of my career building and scaling various B2B and SaaS ventures, mostly in marketing tech and customer experience. I think really what opened me up to kind of AI and marketing was my stint with a company called Emerisys, Emarsys, where I spent 5 years from 2017 to 2022. They're a lifecycle marketing and personalization company. And we really started using and talking about AI kind of midway through my stint there, as it was becoming a buzzword and kind of a hotter technology, probably around 2020. I got to lead into a big acquisition by SAP for about $500 million around that time. And they rolled us up into their customer engagement suite. So that was really probably the most meaningful experience of my career as the first marketing hire for our North American operation there. But also opened me up to the fun of scaling VC-backed ventures. So that kind of led into some consulting work. I wrote a book. I attended Antler's residency for founders last spring in Dubai, which was an amazing experience. And today I'm focused on really helping businesses transform their online reviews into a growth channel, not just a vanity metric, but using AI. And so that's what we're doing at Revivify, and we can dive deeper into any of that.
Yeah, so as I told you, I'm a retired cop, but I've got about 8 years in the digital marketing game now.
Yep.
So one of my biggest influence was Ryan Dice. Probably the biggest influence in my life. But one of the things they talked about, 8-10 years ago was the importance of reviews. And I was watching a video you did about, just because you have 5-star reviews, that doesn't really reflect anything. Like you said, it's a vanity metric.
Yeah, exactly. And as a consumer, I'm more likely to trust a company with a 4.6 to 4.8 star average, for example, than I am a 5-star average, because the first thing that I think is that's doctored. They've just paid people or got fake reviews to get that perfect rating. And my trust level goes down actually instead of going up.
Yeah, I've actually been approached several times about working for these companies that do product reviews online, and it just what's the word I'm thinking of? Sketchy and slimy. It's to me, it's unethical. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I wrote about this in my book as well, Keith. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with prompting or soliciting reviews from your customers, or even incentivizing non-customers to review your product. The issue for me, from a marketing and a morality standpoint, comes when you are trying to influence them to write or review in a certain way, right? And so there's nothing wrong with having a lot of reviews. That's a good thing, but you want them to be authentic and you want them to sound human. And so that's the caveat that marketers and small businesses should understand, is the way that Google and other review directories are now evaluating and analyzing reviews on their platforms is no longer solely based on quantity. That's something that we talk a lot about at Revivify and that we've baked into our platform. Like, it's not just about the volume that you have, it's about the depth, the detail, and the humanness, as well as the engagement that you get with and on your reviews.
Yeah, and I think that kind of ties in with AI. One of the biggest complaints I saw for the longest time was that the content, especially on the content side of things, it didn't sound human. It was like robotic.
Yeah.
People didn't relate to that. And I've even seen reports where Google talks about how the internet is flooded with so much AI content.
Mm-hmm.
That it's affecting that. But how does your platform work in terms of is it like a social listening platform, monitoring? Like how does it work?
No, it's not. So we focus exclusively on reviews, right? So we would allow a business to integrate with any review directory that they're currently on. Let's say Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, OpenTable, Facebook, even LinkedIn, for example. And essentially what we allow them to do is to send short surveys or questionnaires that take under 60 seconds to fill out to their end users or their patrons, to then collect crucial data points about that person's experience with their business or with their service. And then what we do is we use our proprietary AI and LLM engine to pre-write 1 to 3 editable reviews, so the customer doesn't actually have to type out a review. And so we're reducing the friction there, and we're adding massive value, because most customers just leave a short not very good review when they're prompted to do so by a business. That doesn't add any value. And so we're bringing in not just lengthier, more detailed reviews, but we are using contextual clues, not just about the experience, but about keyword opportunities for that specific business, competitive trends, and existing sentiment in the market to help them rank higher for key phrases that people search when they want to buy what they sell, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I heard you say one of my favorite words there, sentiment. Talk a little bit about sentiment analysis.
Yeah.
How your platform can help a business with the concept. First of all, explain what sentiment analysis is and how how it works.
Yeah, so I think most marketers have probably heard of NPS, Net Promoter Score. Ultimately, like this is kind of like the guiding metric or North Star as far as measuring your reputation. And basically, what you're looking at there is how likely is somebody to recommend you to their network or to their peers after doing business with you, right? We don't focus as much on that as a metric.
Hey, digital marketers, entrepreneurs, and tech enthusiasts. Ready to elevate your AI game? Check out the AI-powered marketer newsletter from Keith Bell, host of the AI-powered marketing show. The AI-powered marketer newsletter is your go-to resource, packed with actionable insights, cutting-edge tools, and the latest news in AI and digital marketing. Whether you're optimizing sales funnels, exploring new AI strategies, or staying ahead of industry trends, this newsletter has you covered. Don't miss out on the chance to supercharge your marketing efforts. Subscribe now. Just click the link in the show notes to sign up today, and remember, the future of marketing is here and it's powered by AI. See you in the newsletter.
So our V2 will actually be a lot more robust than our current MVP is. We just launched late last year. So we have a vision for what our analytics suite is going to look like right now. It's very rudimentary as far as the analytics side of things goes. But our ultimate goal is really to get to a place where companies can measure their NPS, which is your Net Promoter Score. I think most marketers are familiar with this term. Basically, what that means is how likely are people to recommend you to their peers or to their network after doing business with you. But there's other things that you can mention too, right? Like social mentions, brand mentions, your placement in search, your growth in search for specific terms. And so our goal and what we're working on is actually roping all of these into a centralized dashboard so that brands can have a full view of their where their reputation stands at any given point.
What kind of return on investment can a business see with improved reviews?
Yeah, so what we like to target and what our early beta users are seeing is anywhere from a 5 to 15% increase in top line revenue within their first 6 to 12 months using Revivify. We've also benchmarked that against our adjacent competitors. If you've heard of tools like Podium, Birdeye, Reputation.com, these would be other companies that are in our sector, and they're all working within that same range. Now, this requires a commitment to generating and to prioritizing customer reviews, right? This isn't something that you can just look at as an ancillary activity or a nice to have. If you do that, you're not going to see the same kind of results that you would by really making this front and center with your in-store team, as well as your digital marketing across SMS and email, and really putting reviews at the core of your marketing strategy of a small business.
So how are you using it to convert bad reviews? I think you talk about this in another video that I watched, where you're using it as I always look at a problem is a potential opportunity to solve, to provide a solution, and that's what we're all about marketing.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the features of our platform, because we facilitate the review collection experience for the end user, we have a unique ability as well to mitigate negative reviews by catching that as the person is filling out their form. If they mark that they had a negative or neutral experience, depending on the rest of their form, we will redirect them into a private dialogue or private channel with the business so that that dissatisfaction can be resolved in the proper way before and instead of that living unfairly online. Because what we found, Keith, is that most negative reviews are not reflective of that actual business or their operations. It's just a knee-jerk reaction to a one-time experience. Now, if a customer really wants to leave that review, of course, they can circumvent the form that the business would send, and they can go and they can post whatever they want, wherever they want. But adding that extra layer in is really where businesses are going to see the most value in terms of reducing their negative reviews.
So, what sparked the idea for your company? I mean, your background seems to be a lot in content marketing.
Yes.
So, how did you make the transition into this? Because, by the way, I think this is such a valuable part of the digital marketing space.
Yeah, for sure. I actually came aboard about 3 months ago. My co-founder, Jevin, sits in Ontario, Canada at the moment. So we had met through a co-founder matching platform, Y Combinator Startup School, and we really just hit it off. It's perfect founder market fit for us. And, I've always been, like you said, I've worked in content marketing, worked in SEO. I've seen the effects of great reputation management as well as really poor reputation management for businesses. And what we really came together around was just this shared passion for wanting to see businesses succeed. I'm seeing what's happening to small businesses and in-person brick and mortar stores in this country. And if we can help them to make more money and to serve their customers more authentically, this is really kind of my why in terms of what's driving me here. And really the first time I saw Revivify's AI engine in action, I saw how it was more than just AI generated content. This goes beyond what ChatGPT could do by bringing in those alternate data points that I discussed, those context clues. And so, that's really how we came together and what's driving me.
Now, did they build their own large language model?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. So I'm actually not the technical co-founder. Jenny could speak better to this, but yes. So first, how it works is, so we're running our customer feedback or the end user's feedback through a proprietary LLM model that extracts those emotional drivers and SEO triggers. Then secondly, we're enriching that with public domain data like local search trends and competitor insights, which I mentioned. That is what will bring in the context and that ranking power. And then third, another model generates multiple review options, which I mentioned, that are all authentic. They're all SEO optimized and ready to perform across any platform. Now, eventually, we're going to be roping in human validation to make sure that everything is hyper authentic and compliant with review sites. But that's essentially how it works on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Sometimes I think businesses don't understand how important customer reviews can be.
Yeah.
Why are they so much more powerful than people really understand?
Okay, so we're entering an age now of oversaturation of digital content and marketing channels. Keith, we touched on this a few minutes ago, but the level of just raw stuff online, and that includes fake and AI generated content, is unprecedented. I think most people are flooded to the point where they don't even know what to look at. They don't know where to go to learn or what to trust anymore. And reviews are quickly becoming the number one trust metric for most businesses online, whether you're B2B or B2C. Everybody goes and reads on Google reviews, or if you're B2B, you're going to a software review platform like G2, for example, to see what other people are saying about the thing that you're considering purchasing. So if we can help to create more authentic insights from your revolving stream of customers, and help brands extract that equity in a way that allows them to use those reviews as assets, those businesses can have an unfair advantage when it comes to trust visibility, and authenticity. And in 5 or 10 years, I believe, and we believe, that trust will be the number one thing that sets top performers apart from others.
Yeah. How do you think AI has influenced people's trust? Because it's I mean, AI has been around for a long time, but the AI that everybody's familiar with, ChatGPT and all that,
Yeah.
how do you think it's impacted like people's trust? I mean, there's so much stuff that's out there.
I think I don't know if I would say it's decreased trust necessarily, but I think it's causing people to question the validity of the content that they're seeing across social media in particular. I know it does for me. Pretty much anytime I see a sensationalized headline or anything about anyone in the public sphere, my initial reaction is to question that. Now, I trust ChatGPT more than I trust pretty much anything else, more than I trust social media. It's become my personal assistant and benchmark for just about everything. That doesn't mean that you blindly take the outputs that you're generating there as truth. You should always fact check yourself. But even that's getting difficult to do with just how busy our days are, right? And so, yeah, I think it's causing more questioning than we've ever seen, but it can also serve as a big pillar of truth. Again, depending on the inputs that you feed it.
Plus, people's attention spans are like this. They're like 3 seconds or
Yeah,
less. I mean, I just read. I forget the name. You ever heard of the book Hook Points?
I have that book. Yes.
What's the author's name? I can't remember his name. Escapes me. But anyway, um, he talks about like you've got if you don't capture people's attention in 3 seconds or less, you're gone.
Right.
And I've got to imagine that's a big thing. So I'm going to transition a little bit and talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's content marketing. You've got a lot of experience with that. Like, what was your go-to vehicle? Were you into blog content or what?
Yeah, the
I mean, saw you a lot on Instagram.
Well, the scene has changed a lot over the last 10 years since I started my career as well. When I first started in 2014, yes, it was primarily about written content on site, in blog format. And of course, web pages all had to be optimized for what people were looking for when they searched for what you sold. But to your point, that has changed dramatically, especially over the last several years. We've seen an amplification of uh, social media for sure, but also video content and audio content, particularly podcasts, almost surpassing, I would say, the importance in search, more than they ever have, and I think more than even on-site SEO for your domain. That's always going to be there, and you need to make sure that your website is optimized. But Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, and of course, online reviews, wherever you're collecting your stockpile, are becoming much more important than they were, say, 10 years ago. So making sure that all of those things are working together in a flywheel that is constantly moving and producing content aligned with what your buyers are searching is non-negotiable, to be seen online.
Would you agree that AI has caused a fundamental shift in the way we search for stuff now?
I think it has. It has for me. Like I said, I'm using GPT for all of my searches now. I'll use Google if I want to find something nearby, like a local business, or a place to eat. So that's where reviews are going to come in as important. But for everything else, I'm using GPT. I might use Facebook or Instagram if I want to find posts that people have made about things. But yeah, I mean, I'm using AI for voice search. I'm using AI um, for deep searches. I'm using AI to find anything that I need in a fraction of the time it took 10 years ago.
Yeah, so what do you think of the new ChatGPT deep research? I am like addicted to it.
Yeah, I'm on the pro version. I use it in specific use cases. I used it to do a deep dive on a competitor a couple of days ago. So I think, like anything, knowing when, where, and how to use AI to your advantage knowing how to super prompt and prompt engineer, especially with deep searches, is super important.
Yeah, I am. One of my other passions is prompt engineering. I've created two courses on prompt engineering. One's called the Clear Prompting Method, and the other one is called the Human Prompting Method, which uses linguistic frameworks
Yeah.
to get more human AI responses.
Are you a digital marketer ready to take your strategies to the next level? Introducing Make.com, the platform that's transforming how AI-driven marketers, like listeners of the AI-powered marketing show, work smarter and achieve more. Listeners of the AI-powered marketing show are already leveraging Make.com to automate complex workflows, integrate favorite tools, and scale their strategies with ease. Imagine advanced automation handling repetitive tasks, freeing you to focus on innovation. With Make.com no-code tools and AI integrations, automating everything from lead nurturing to social media management is now as easy as clicking play on your favorite podcast. Hey, listeners of the AI-powered marketing show, are you ready to start your free trial with Make.com today and experience the power of AI-driven marketing automation? Click the link in the episode description and get started now.
Anyway, so what's one of the toughest lessons you've been grateful to learn in your journey?
I mentioned the experience that I had going to Antlers Accelerator. It was their first Dubai cohort last spring, and I had went with a team, and I walked away without that team. And that brought me to a really difficult place, but I wouldn't have gotten to this point working on Revivify without it. And this is a project that I couldn't be more passionate about. But losing that team, and we split for a variety of reasons, it just came down to misalignment on vision and values. And what I learned from that is really the importance of working with the right people on a project that you share a passion for. And more than that, it's learning how to complement one another's strengths and how to lift one another up around your own weaknesses. This has sort of been reiterated to me throughout my career, but this was really the most difficult learning or lesson around that. And so that's something that I'm still digging into and trying to refine myself. But I feel like every business owner can relate to that. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, what I've heard you mention it, and I've seen it. What is it? Antlers? What is that?
Yeah. So
Just
Antler's one of the top accelerators or residencies for pre-revenue founders or even pre-idea founders around the globe. They have several different hubs. And I was fortunate enough to be selected for their first Dubai cohort. And it was about like 80 founders from all around the world coming together. And their big value prop is introducing you to other potential co-founders. I had come with a team. But yeah, that's kind of the idea there, is just helping you to launch your business and meet other people.
yeah. One day, I one day ask you about your book to content capitalism. Is that still out in publication?
Yep, Content Capitalist. I published that last June, or yeah, last summer. So yeah, that's available on my website, michaelbecker.org, as well as on Amazon. And yeah, that's really just kind of a codex of my last 10 years in marketing, seeing a lot of what was working, but even more of what companies weren't doing well. So I really tried to put together a new formula or a new methodology for service and SaaS businesses to go to market with a content first, not necessarily a product first approach.
Great, that's awesome. Who's been the biggest influence on you in your career? I know I mentioned for me it was Ryan Dice.
Yeah. Wow, that's such a great question. I would say Naval Ravikant has influenced my thinking and my approach to my work probably more than anyone else, especially as I started to move into the entrepreneurial world. He is, if you don't know, He's one of the most well-known founders. I'm blanking on his company at the moment. But he's one of the most well-known like tech investors and founders out there. So you can go search his name. He has a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Just amazing insights and takeaways for any business owner, any founder. So he would probably be number one.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it here. Now, I'm not going to try with my internet. Probably lose you here. So just kind of to wrap things up here, if people wanted to find you or learn more about you, I know what I wanted to ask you before I get to that. Do you do coaching too? Did I see somewhere in my research you're involved with coaching as well?
Keith, say that one more time. I lost you.
The question I had for you was, did I see somewhere that you're involved in coaching as well, or is that inaccurate?
It's not inaccurate, but that was probably 5 to 7 years ago. So yeah, I'm no longer doing that work.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and if people wanted to find you, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, if you're listening and you want to see how AI can turn your reviews into a growth engine, we're offering a limited time 6-month trial of our pro version at Revivify. So the best thing for that would just be to shoot me an email at michael@revivify.com and I'll personally get you onboarded. Or if you want to jump in and play around, you can grab a 30-day trial anytime at revivify.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. Just search Michael Becker and we can connect. Yeah. So Keith, one thing I want to leave people with quickly is, when I was at Emarsis 5 years ago, one of the things that we talked about in our messaging was that AI wasn't going to replace jobs or take away what marketers were doing. But that's no longer true. We've entered a new era where AI is taking jobs. It is taking over a lot of the back end work. And even now, some of the front end and creative work that marketers used to do. There's no denying this. With tools like GPT, with Opus AI, I'm using Delphi for a digital clone. There's no reason if you're a company to hire a creative marketer at this point. Or if you do, you only need one. And they better know how to manage and run AI. Across platforms and with multiple tools. And so really what I'm getting at here, the point is that the advantage will go to the teams and the marketers who know how and which AI tools to use in their business to maximize their leverage, their efficiency, and to decrease their inputs for the maximum outputs. This is what's going to separate the people that win from the people that aren't as visible or that end up losing in this new age of AI. It's no longer a choice of whether or not you should be using AI. If you're not, you're going to be outlasted by your competitors who are already learning about and putting these tools at the core of their business, not as their strategy, but to complement what they do day to day. And this is a non-negotiable. So I just want to leave that heads up for listeners that it's really time to start using AI on a daily basis.
I could not agree more. That's why we have the show. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. You've been a great guest.
Awesome. So great to be here. Thanks, Keith.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the AI Powered Marketing Show. A huge, huge thank you to Michael Becker for sharing some powerful insights on using AI to drive real growth and trust in today's digital world. And to all of you that are listening, thank you for being a part of our community. If you enjoyed today's episode, please follow us on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and hit that notification bell on YouTube so you never miss a conversation that could potentially level up your marketing game. Your support helps us to grow this show, reach more marketers and entrepreneurs like you, and continue to bring on top minds like Mike. We've got more exciting episodes coming up soon, packed with expert strategies and AI innovations you won't want to miss. Until next time, keep innovating, keep iterating, and keep staying ahead of the curve with the AI-Powered Marketing Show. From Keith Bell here at the AI-Powered Marketing Show, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.